Frightened by an English professor from Yale?
No, I was educated in England.
Mr. O'Brien, that's you, huh?
That's right.
Let's see, you're a game warden?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's what I like. One thing I can't stand is a cowardly warden. He looks like a real game warden, doesn't he, huh? What do you do in your job as a game warden?
Well, primarily enforce the fish and game laws and regulations, such as checking licenses, seeing that people don't take too many ducks or quail.
What about our duck? Have you ever seen our duck?
No, I haven't.
In other words, you've never seen our show, is that right?
Well, I've seen it, but I've always kept my eyes on you.
Well, you narrowly avoided not winning any money at all here. Well, suppose I caught an illegal fish and you caught me catching this fish. What would you do, Robert?
Well, I'm afraid I would have to take the fish as evidence and issue you a citation.
Well, that's pretty silly, isn't it? Imagine cooking a citation over an open fire. How much would it cost me?
Depending on how you took it. Now, if we caught you out there with your tennis racket taking them, dipping the spawners out of Lake Arrowhead up, well, it'd probably be pretty tough.
Do I look like a fellow who would go fishing with a tennis racket? Well, I know I look pretty daffy, but I didn't know. Eileen, let's return to you. What have you been doing in the States since you returned from England? Have you been working?
Yes, I'm a house mother. I was a house mother at a fraternity.
A house mother? What's a house mother? You mother houses?
No, we just look after the boys.
Well, do you have much trouble keeping the college boys away from the girls?
I think it's the reverse. It's keeping the college girls away from the boys.
In other words, you were sort of a game warden yourself there.
Anyway.
Well, Bob, how would you prevent a predatory female from chasing a man?
I don't know. That's a little out of my line. I am primarily interested in the protection of the wildlife.
Apparently, you've never been in a fraternity house. Well, time is up for conversation. Let's play You Bet Your Life. Remember, we start you off with $100. Miss a question, you lose half of your bankroll. Are you ready?
In the race for the $2,000, the first couple won $360, and the secret word is table.
You selected the animal kingdom, and remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. Now, one answer between you, your partners. Now, what do you want to start with? 10, 20, 30. They get tougher as they get bigger.
$70.
$70. What is another name for the American buffalo?
Bison.
Bison is right.
You now have $170.
Okay, now what are you going to do now? 80, 50, 40? 80? If a horse belongs to the equine family, what family does a cow belong to?
Bovine.
Bovine is right.
You now have $250.
I knew him very well. Humphrey Bovine. Now what are you going to do? You have $250. What are you going to try this time?
Okay, 90.
90. The kangaroo of Australia is a marsupial. What is the only marsupial native to North America?
A possum.
A possum is right. This fellow knows.
You now have $340.
This is old Animal Kingdom himself. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. What are you going to go for?
60.
What animal or bird is the national emblem of the United States?
The bald eagle.
The bald eagle is right.
And you wind up with $400. We have two people with interesting stories for you, Groucho. You'll find out more about them in just a moment. Miss Barbara Tomlinson and Mr. Ivan Kirov. Would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
Well, welcome. Hi, audience. You know how to make bread pudding?
No, I don't.
Too bad. We'd be married in 15 minutes. We'll say the secret word and divide $100. It's a Oh, there's a fellow standing over there, too. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mr. Barbara, I'm going to talk to Mr. Kirov here, and as soon as I can brush him off, I'll be back to you. Ivan Kirov, that's a Spanish name, huh?
Not quite. It's a Russian name.
Oh, Russian. Well, I used to know a Spaniard named Kirov, and he was born in Russia. Where were you born?
I was born in Newark, New Jersey.
What sort of work do you do, Ivan?
I run a dance studio down on Beverly Boulevard, 7209.
7209?
That's
Each
right.
evening?
Each evening and each afternoon.
Is that so? Dancing school. What kind of dancing do you teach? Ivan?
Well, I teach chiefly classical ballet and some primitive and modern acrobatics, tumbling.
You say you teach ballet? Isn't that kind of sissified for a big, strong, handsome lad like you?
Well, you're taking the same reaction everybody does. I think that's just as ridiculous as going in a jungle and calling a tiger a sissy because he's graceful. I don't feel that it's any different.
Well, I wouldn't go into a jungle and call it. I wouldn't talk to him at all if I saw him. I might drop him a note. Ask him how many raisins he uses in his bread pudding. Hi, audience. Now, where do you do your adagio, Babs? I'd like to come down and watch sometime.
At Muscle Beach in Santa Monica. They have other activities there besides the dancing and tumbling. They have the weightlifting and surf riding, races, etc.
Muscle Beach, huh?
Muscle Beach in Santa Monica.
Well, I belong to a beach club right next door to Muscle
Do you?
Beach. Yes, it's Sacroiliac Sands. There's a woman out there laughed just like in the Mikado. She went, Ivan, let's talk about your school of the dance some more. Do you consider classical ballet the most important type of dancing?
Well, as a matter of fact, no. I think there are other forms of dancing that I consider just as important. I think modern dancing, interpretive, and the primitive forms of dancing are just as exciting and important to me.
Well, we don't have time for a full-scale ballet here, but could you give us some idea of what you do all day in your dancing school?
You mean right here?
Well, I don't see any other place around. Ivan, a while ago, you mentioned primitive dancing. Could you give us a short hunk of that?
Well, I'll tell you,
Maybe you could help me.
I need a beat for that. I can't do it by myself.
A beat? You mean a dead one? What kind of a beat are you after?
The drum beat, you know.
Well, could you give us an idea of what kind of a beat?
Yeah, you got a drummer here someplace?
Yeah, well, he's not actually a drummer, but he gets paid.
Okay.
What kind of a beat? Could you tell me? And
Yeah,
then
I
could
give you a-
transmit it. That's the jungle, huh? That's why I enjoy doing this show. You meet people like Ivan and Barbara, and especially Barbara. Let me shake your hand, and yours too, Ivan. I think you did a magnificent job, huh? Give me the foot, too, huh? All right, now let's see how you make out in the quiz.
In the race for the $2,000, the second couple is leading with $400.
All right, you selected science and medicine. Now, what do you want to start with?
How about, say 20?
Maybe a little higher.
30? 40? 40, okay.
All right, $40. The word pulmonary pertains to what part of the body?
It's one of the vessels coming from the heart. It goes to the lungs, pulmonary vein.
Yeah, I'd give you that. I'd give you that.
You now have $140.
You certainly took the long way around there, but you finally arrived. Now, what do you want to try? Make it tougher.
50 bucks? 60?
Sure.
All right, 50.
$50. What do you call the science that deals with weather and climate?
Meteorology.
That is absolutely right.
You now have $190.
Ivan is nobody's dope here. Now you have $190.
70? Are you 70?
What does a herpetologist say?
Snakes.
Let me get the question out. Will you? Can you see through this? What are you going to try?
The 100?
100, fine.
Uh-huh.
What planet is nearest the sun?
Venus. No?
No, I'm sorry. It's Mercury.
You had 260, you lost half it, you now have $130.
Well, that's not too bad. Sorry you didn't win more.
Too bad.
Centuries, a famous old Spanish fort has stood guard at the entrance to Havana Harbor. For $2,000, what is the name of this historic fort? Almost said hysteric.
You know what it is?
All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon? Take a guess if you don't know.
Cadiz?
No, it's Morro Castle.
Oh.
Well, I'm sorry. So that means the big question next week will be worth $2,500. Well, they lost the big money. How much they win in the quiz, George?
$400 in the quiz.
Well, congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Friday night at 6:30 Eastern, a strong-arm collection man runs afoul of Lucas on The Rifleman. Then at 7, Michael Landon guest stars on The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Now stay with us for Dopey Gillis next on CBN.